Hello YouTube, welcome to the channel. My name is Willie, and hopefully you'll find value in this video, and let's get started. Today has been an enlightening day. I thought I was gonna have to pay back a lot of money in student loans, but hopefully this is not a scam, and I will actually be getting forgiveness for my student loans, which is a blessing. I guess, the universe, God, when you really lock in, the blessings really start to happen. And I'm really dedicated to becoming a better person. I do this every day. I've been saying I was going to start a YouTube channel for the last 3 years. I was like, yeah, if I just get a YouTube channel and tell people, the things I do to become better, And I think it wasn't time yet. I think at that point it was not time for me to do what I'm doing now. Sitting in front of a camera and saying, this is possible. A person that can come from mental health issues, drug addiction, alcoholism, brokenness, a lot of trauma, and being totally transformed into who I am today. And I wouldn't trade this for nothing in the world. I wouldn't go back in my life and change anything if I could reach the destination of finding my authentic self. The person I was truly meant to be. I am finally on a path to really lock in and become the person I was meant to be my entire life. And becoming okay with being in front of the camera, okay with being okay. Like I look at sometimes when I record a video and I look at myself and I'm like, man, you don't look that great. But you know something? My inner beauty and the things I've come through, and to be almost 50 years old, I'm good with that. Because there's a lot of people that ain't here, and there's a lot of people that maybe don't look as good as I do, or I don't look good as they do. But you know something? That's just facts. That is not going to change, but who I am on the inside does change, and it reflects on who I become every day. And I enjoy who I am. I freaking have confidence I ain't never had before. I don't need anybody to validate me. I don't need somebody to be like, oh, that's a good job. I want to be better than I was yesterday. And that's all about applying principles in my life. That's all about meditating and loving God like I've never loved him before, and he does so much for me back. Being totally honest with myself, being able to get in front of this camera and be totally honest. If I'm not having the best of day, I usually would not get in front of the camera. But I'm knowing it's okay now if I ain't having a great day. You need to know that. You need to know, man, I'm not having a great day today. And what do I do to change that day? And that was something that the Spirit told me. Because I was like, man, what am I going to talk about? And he was like, you got me. You ain't got to worry about what you got to talk about. You just got to sit down, plug in the camera, and let's go. And I'm like, wow, okay. Sometimes we have something inside of us that got a go button. We just got to believe it's a go button. We just got to believe that we are going to make it to that next level. We are going to make it to that next journey. But how do we get there? One step at a time. How did I become a person of who I am today? One spiritual principle at a time. Surrendering to God one day at a time. And I mean, and once I really surrendered to him, really fully surrendered, and it probably took me 9 months to get to that point, to really truly surrender to God, to truly say, something, because I didn't know how. Let me be honest, I didn't Nobody was giving out that menu. Nobody was really, it was like just surrender to win. Nobody was giving up the formula to really say, how do you become that close with God? And for me, it was a daily relationship though, because I didn't want to become the man I used to be. I cried out to God constantly to become a better person. And I remember many conversations that we had, even when I was in the streets and I was not such a good person. And he was still there, you know. So at this point in my life, I know how good he is right now, you know, by being able to not crave drugs, not crave alcohol, not have to have a woman in my life at this point to validate or have somebody to nurture me, you know. That's a big thing for me, because I was codependent. And I probably just got to that realization about 2 years ago. That I was a codependent person. Today I'm an independent person. Well, I lean on God. I mean, let me get that right. God is my dependency. And through all of this, it has made me such a stronger, better person. It has made me understand the value of having that relationship, the strength and the works that he does inside of me, and I know he can do it for you. The loving, you know, being able to love without having expectations, being able to forgive and not hold those resentments, being able to take that trauma and put it behind me and use it as a force of bettering myself. I do not make excuses. I just make things in my life to hold me accountable. If things out of my control happens, it's still my fault. Because even though it was out of my control, I can always say, okay, how can I get better from this? What is it trying to show me? I'm not going to cop out no more. I try not to cop out. I try not to be like, man, you know, if that wouldn't have happened, it meant to happen. Okay? And it's a training period. It's one of those things you're going to go through. Nothing is perfect. And I mean, even God don't even really, I'm like, he ain't really wrapped up. He like imperfection, not really perfection, because you can learn the most from imperfection. You know, if you perfect all the time, I think that's boring. I think if he wanted a perfect world, he would have created one, because he could, you know. So I think we get to have this journey, these experiences, the realization that we come to the fact that, man, we make our realization. And number one, that's where, for me, faith came in. You know, because I never thought that I wouldn't be able to not drink. And that's really real. I mean, if somebody been like, dude, you ain't gonna be drinking anymore, I'm like, yeah, okay, that sounds good. But I don't crave alcohol. I can be, like, I don't go put myself in situations with alcohol, but I can go into a restaurant to serve alcohol. I have no desire to drink. So, I don't have no desire to use drugs. I don't have no desire to do any of the things I used to do. So, and even in my attitude or my character, I'm not perfect, but I'm nowhere near where I used to be. I mean, do I still have some of that poverty mindset thinking? Absolutely, I do. I try not to lie. That's part of a growing process. That's part of getting in front of this camera and being totally transparent about me, you know. But have I become better with it? Yes, I work every day to get outside of that. I do not let myself sit in that kind of thinking. I am capable of whatever I set my mind to. I am worthy. I do deserve. I am a creator. Because God is in me, he is around. He makes sure that my situations is not is not my reality. I'm in a temporary format, and it's gonna change. And that's what I really, really want you to understand about transformation, about having that open mind. You start to see with a different pair of glasses, and they say a different pair of goggles, but your eyesight changes. The way you carry yourself changes. The people you will let inside of your head will change. People that's always talking negative will not be able to come around you. People that like to hear how to tear you down will not be able to tear you down, because they won't be able to pick up the phone. They won't be able to call you no more. It will start to be distance and no conversation at all. When God starts to center your life, he will move things out, so he can indoctrinate you with him. So that's when you start to realize, man, my paradigm is shifting. My life is starting to change. And why? Because you desire to do something different. You desire to let God come into your life, right? You desire to have that relationship. You desire to stop listening to those naysayers or those people that feed on the light. And they drain energy. I call them energy stealers. And they power themselves up, or they feed on giving you negativity so they can be happy. Okay? And sometimes we attract that because we're used to it. It's funny what a poverty mindset will bring you. Not just your finances, but all the things around it that surrounds it. Not just, it's like it just, once it attacks, it just like it brings so many of those little darklings around, and it's like hard to break. It's hard to get out of the dark, okay? But is it possible? Absolutely it's possible. Absolutely change is possible. But change does not happen instantly. No, it does not. And it takes a lot of work. But our mind is an incredible tool, because it is conditioned to help you. And it's also conditioned for survival series. I mean, it don't want to be successful because that's scary. If it ain't never been successful, you got to really work at making it a success to get a successful mindset thinking. Because once you get trapped into that part, it's like, oh, okay, we got this, we good. Survival, you know what I mean? And it's going to wash, rinse, and repeat, just that survival. You get right here, okay, we good. Okay, we got to do this, and let's get back there. Let's get back to that safe spot. So, to really get to that next level, you really have to transform everything about you to get that next kick, that next spark, that next who am I? So once you start to question, who am I? I am who I say I am. And then you know, you start to bring forth the true identity of yourself. And God is all through that. Like our spirit, my spirit is so strong. I don't have information, but it'll give me information to get me through. I have a job that is so fitting. I mean, when I say fitting, when I say I can do this job effortlessly, and I was meant to be able to do this job. Like, I was just put in this world to do that job. So it's like it comes to me effortlessly. You know, I don't have to do anything besides get grounded, treat people the way I want to be treated, and my night goes by super fast, and I have all the time in the world to work on me. So man, I mean, it's like my practice grounds to get better every day. And that's what God has given me. So I am so grateful every day I get to wake up into this life. Yeah, maybe I don't drive the car I want right now. Maybe I ain't got this right. You heard me. Because them temporary facts. Because he give abundantly and overly that you could ever ask for. You know, I mean, I know this. I can already feel it. I already know what he's doing inside of me. The relationship, the firepower he puts in me. And each and every last one of us has this. That's why right now, I wouldn't have had this 6 months ago. So, and I'm only going to get better. You know, if you tuning in to this channel, please If you see me on, click on me, I'm only gonna get better. And with me getting better makes a better you. Promise byproduct. This energy is strong, and it's only gonna get stronger. Unlocking as many people as I can, far reaching as I can. I have big goals. I have big goals, dreams, and I know with the faith of God, it's only His work, so I know it's gonna happen. There ain't no doubt. I'm on an impossible mission, but God loves the impossible. When we came into this world, it was impossible, really. You know what I mean? Some of us shouldn't even be here. It was an impossible mission, but we made it. Some of us shouldn't even be living, but we still living. So when I think about the impossible, I think everything is possible with God being present in my life. So I don't say, can I do it? It's when I'm gonna do it. Because everything I've been speaking is starting to happen. I remember like a year and a half ago, I was like, man, if I had this, I could start a YouTube channel. God has made it so much easier to start a YouTube channel. I say it all the time, the algorithm was meant for me. I believe it. I believe that everything that's going on was meant for me. Why? Because in the eyes of me, that's the way I feel. I feel like every opportunity was meant for me, because in the eyes of God, every time is His time. Every opportunity is His time. Everything that He tells you and you really believe it, you gonna achieve it. Because the mind, all you gotta do, think it. If you think it, you believe it, you can achieve it. Be, do, have. If I keep being, doing, I will be having. So that's one thing I do know. I know that if I keep up the work that God asks of me, I know I'm going to be having. I know that I'm going to make it to those levels that He gonna be proud. It's easy to do when we used to doing something, when we in a pattern of doing. I've been trying. I'm not trying. I'm doing. I'm putting my mind in a pattern of greatness. Every day we strive for greatness. So I program it for greatness. And then I program it to be great. I program it to be great. I program it to be great. Because God is great. He's extraordinary and beyond all measure. So once I achieve greatness, then I'm going to go extraordinary. Because it stages to this. It took me a long time to say I was a good person. It took me a long time to say, man, Willie is a good person. Willie always been a good person. Some of the things I did wasn't good, but I had always been a good person. My heart has always been good. And everything I went through affirmed it today. Who I used to be, I'm not anymore. And who I am today, I will not be that person. Because I'm shedding consistently for more value, be more creative, to be better than I was yesterday, to always be doing something productive in my life, to have more productivity and more output to give and be of more value. So if I'm doing those things, I won't be who I was yesterday. I'm going to be a little bit better than I was because I put in a little bit more productivity. So does that make me better than anybody else? Absolutely not. It just makes me a better me. I love anybody for where they at. Don't mean that I want to hang around you. I can love you from a distance. Because everybody ain't want what I want. Everybody ain't after what I'm after. I want to be around like-minded people. I want to be around people that's I don't mind somebody struggling and striving to be a better them. I love those. I love those that got that fight. They got that win. They got that. I want to be better. I have to be. I crave for it. And that's what God has shown me. He has shown me that I've transformed that craving for alcohol, that craving for women, And that craving for all of these things, and I channel all that in with all the love I have for you, to create a better you, to create that authenticity, to create this journey, to create that momentum. We all have that momentum. We all got that takeoff in us. You know, you have to have enough momentum to fly. The train, it ain't no locomotive until you get that traction. So, and that's that energy, that's that forward motion. Our mind has that. Our mind has that explosiveness to be able to do that. And God, oh God, you know, Jesus is one of the most extraordinary examples. No matter what he did, and they was like, "Who are you, Son of God?" Nobody, even though he did everything he did, they still questioned that. So nobody validated him. Nobody had to validate him. He had God to validate him. So that is the most beautifulest thing, that we have to believe in ourselves. We have to always be willing to learn and teach and want to be better and want to let God in to make us better. We can go get all the education in the world, but I truly believe without that spiritual believing in that willing to let God in, I believe it blocks you from becoming that greatest aspect of yourself. You know, for me to really think about why God, why you choose me? Why God, you know, I did that for a while because I really truly didn't believe that I was something special. I just believed it. Okay, I got this. But I started to understand that he always wanted me alone with him. He always wanted to grow. He always had, and the more I did what he asked, well, I didn't really, and he structured to get what he wanted because I surrendered. And that's the beauty about it, because you ain't got to put forth all the effort you think. I'm learning that. I don't have to put forth all that. All I got to do is be willing to just line up and boom. Sometimes I be like, and it don't work out, but then it's supposed to. Sometimes he wants to rest us. Sometimes we won't understand. Sometimes he getting us in a situation in that lineup that he knows how to do it just right. He know, one thing I can say is God knows exactly what he doing. It's us who don't know what we doing. So every day I get to understand the development of mind. The development of mind. I mean, like, our mind has the process of programming itself, which is a wonderful thing and a bad thing, because it can take, and if you got a bad habit, it's gonna be hard to break it. And so many people be like, 6 months, 90 days, 30 days. I learned one thing. In order to really break bad habits, you just gotta work on it every day until it sticks. I mean, it just happens. It ain't no 30, 60, 90, 6 months, 9 months. It just one day clicks. And your mind start to work for you. And once it does, like, my mind now craves to be healthy. It craves to want to learn. It craves for information. It craves for meditation. It craves to have that relationship with God. It craves for me to take that time out and be with my Father. It takes, and I don't have to do anything about it. It's automatic. But how long did that take? And I think that's the beauty about having this relationship, about really, really embracing my spirit. And me and my spirit, we still, I mean, it's been a little uncomfortable because I'm trying to fit this out. You know, the spirit and me becoming one. That is a journey, you know, but it's getting better. It is getting so much better. And when I realize the work what God is truly doing, it's not set up for failure. It's set up for straight success. So, why am I saying this? Because I want you to be, I hear a lot of different people saying transformation, the psychology to becoming a better person. And I hear it. I hear the tappings. I hear the alignment. But some people are easily to be able to be like, well, yeah, I wanna get this. Others has been so hurt in their life that they don't believe it's possible. And I know more about that than anybody. I mean, when I talk about coming from a broken home, when I talk about institutions, when I talk about being mentally unhealthy, having suicide in my family, having faced all kind of different adversities, from being stuck in that poverty mindset, being stuck in that vicious cycle, and all you know is that. So coming into a way of thinking differently and being with a more healthier mindset seems almost impossible, because nothing around you has ever resembled that. So you be after some characteristics that you ain't never really seen. So yeah, you might see it in other people, but not in yours. Not where you come from. So it's acceptable for you to be flying off. It's acceptable for you to not keep a job. It's acceptable for you to be from toxic to toxic to toxic, in and out of that's normal. We wouldn't expect anything different. So when you come into the mindset of saying, man, okay, something ain't right here. How do I break this? How do I break this limited mind frame, or this limited I can't afford this, or I can't live over here? I don't accept that. I don't accept that somebody else could have $1 million home and I can't have one. I don't accept that, because I know one thing for sure. The only thing that separates us is my mindset. So if I know my mindset is the only thing that's holding me back, then what I need to do, I need to reshift. I need to reprogram. And the greatest part about the human mind is willing to do it. But you gotta be willing to put in the work. And for me, it's all God. It's nothing better for me, because I know what the byproduct is bringing. I'm already wealthy. See, it don't take a house to validate me. It don't take a vehicle to validate me. When I walk into a room and I can light that room up, and I ain't gotta be the prettiest person walking in there, it's my energy level. It's what I done put in that helps me to be able to just be the byproduct. The byproduct of what I do when ain't nobody looking, integrity. It's what my outcome truly becomes. It's truly that I don't even, when I first started this journey, I didn't think it was working. I didn't understand what gratitude was. I was having good days and I had high times and very low times. And it was a lot of times that I thought about just checking out of life, because my mind was it was very sick. It was very low vibrations, and that's how much God has really, really stepped in my life. I don't have them kind of thoughts. I don't have that way of thinking that I'm not worthy. I am worthy. I am deserving, because I am the child of God that he knew I could be. We all are. He know our hearts. The $1 million question is, we going into 2025, and that I believe this. I know this is gonna be one of the. We are living in one of the greatest creational times in this period. That we are so fortunate, because so many great things are gonna be happening during this time. So when you just really think about, when are you going to start becoming the best version of yourself? When are you going to say enough is enough? I know that I'm not giving you the instructions that you need. Not right now. It's coming. I mean, I'm really, really working on putting together some things that really, really work for me. That really, really is going to connect the one percenters, the people that's struggling, because some people don't believe in themselves and have some of the greatest gifts inside of them. My goal is to unlock you. My goal for y'all that's struggling, that gonna hit this channel, oh my God, I'm hoping that it be. I am not hoping. I'm saying. I'm claiming. My spirit gonna come through and touch you. It's gonna pull that addiction or whatever you going through. It's gonna let you know he been through that. That's my guy. Or the woman that's like, I've been working on. That's what I need. You gonna take that home to your kid. This right here just don't help you. It helps everything around you become a better you. Everything around you, because you're gonna be you attract goodness. Once you start to apply this, you attract goodness. You it's infectious. And people who don't want it gonna run from you. People will talk about you. They will down you. Because that's part of it. But when you really become that light, that inspiration, because you're gonna have to, it's gonna be in you to do it. My whole level of life, my whole existence, is to take what I worked so hard to effortlessly be able to give this back with all that I can. And the more I practice, the better it's gonna become. The more I practice, the better it's gonna become. Blessings on blessings on blessings on blessings on blessings on blessings. Because that's what I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be blessings on blessings on blessings on blessings, because God is the blessings. I am the vessel. I am the messenger. I am the gift. And the longer and the more, this is what he's been working on. To make me and develop me. And he's gonna develop all of us. This is a journey we all on. I've been fascinated about Gandhi. Been fascinated about Jesus. I've been fascinated about Frederick Douglass. I've been about all of these scholars that was before me, because they achieved the impossible. You know, when you look at Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, they had that energy to influence, to go and make a difference and a change. We all have that ability, that to make a spark in this world. We can't do it alone. I'm not saying I'm one person, but it only takes one person to put that spark. It only takes that one person that's so enlightened with God to make it happen. But are you willing to do your part? Are you willing to say, this is not my reality, and start to go get your reality? Are you in a situation that you know, man, I'm so much better than this? Are you tired of feeling less than around people, when you really are better than or equal to those that you think that are superior to you? Not. The only superior being to you is God himself. That's it. He made us all on equal playing fields, but some of us has gifts out of love, not out of power trips. I'm better than you. I'm just on a trajectory to help better mankind in general, and I can't do it without you. So how am I better than you? I need you. We need each other. We was all meant to live in abundance. That's it. Not no better than. I'm none of that. No. But you cannot be around less than thinking people and thinking you're going to become the greatest version of yourself. You're not. Because they don't want to be better. They don't want you to be better. They like for you to be like them. That ain't their fault. That's what they used to. That's their normal. They got a pattern. You got to understand that you no longer want to live that pattern. You no longer want to be that. So you will start, when you take the journey, you will start to realize that even though you're around them, they're gonna start to move you out the way. They're gonna start being like, yeah, this ain't really where you want to be at. You know, they ain't gonna call you no more. Really, they're gonna start to. So you already get ostracized. You ain't got to do nothing more than start to work on yourself. They all start to move out of your way. Because you gotta, at that point, you on a path. At that point, you on a journey. On that point, the journey starts. The rest is gonna be up to you. We got free will. You know, transformation, transforming of the mind does not stop once it starts. It does that. You're about to be on a mind-blowing experience. That's what I can tell you. It's a mind-blowing experience. Because you get to experience something that you ain't never had before. But that's the same thing as, how do I get something? I have to do things I ain't never done before to have the things I ain't never had before. See what do you understand what I'm saying? The only way I get different, I got to start to do things different. And that's what I start to understand. That's when I start to say, you know something, I got to be, do, have. You know, that was a mind golden saying, be, do, have. You know, learn some new skills. Change the things that you do. So I'm always listening. I'm always learning. I'm always taking key points. I'm always sharpening my tool. Because God gonna do that for me. I ain't gotta want to. He gonna do it when you get into God. Totally surrender. Totally, really say, God, I am yours. And he don't want all them things that you hold dear to you. Because he know if you willing, and he know your heart. He knows your heart, so you can play the game. You know, I'm the type of person, if I can't be genuine at this point in my life, I don't wear a mask. I don't be one way and be something else. What you get is what you get. All you gonna get from me is a person that strives to be better than I was yesterday. I am the greatest. Why? Because I'm the greatest person that's gonna fight to become even better than I was yesterday. I am my competition. Nobody else. My authenticity is my authenticity. As long as I'm competing but becoming the greatest version of myself, everything else is secondary. Because when I'm digging inside of me to become the very, very, very best of me, all I do, I'm self-absorbed. I'm becoming the best version of me. That means that whoever I come in contact with get the best version of me. That means I'm gonna be the greatest version of whatever they need. Because the byproduct of it is, if I put in the work, whenever I show up, I'm gonna show out. Because the work been done. When I'm constantly working on me, I'm constantly gonna be better for anybody else I come in contact with. I've been learning these techniques 7 years now. Little by little by little by little. And little by little my people around me has gotten to non-existent, really. Because he takes and he molds you and he molds you and he molds you and he molds you and he molds you. Then he puts you under pressure again. And then as soon as you think the pressure off, he puts you under pressure again. And I have so many people say, Willie, don't you think it's dangerous that you be isolated? Hey, I'm not isolated. I am in the best company. I have angels around me. I have protection around me. I have love around me. How am I isolated? I'm being taught most golden principles, being molded by the greatest creator. If I have a relationship with the creator, how am I in isolation? But they would think that because most people break because they get in that cycle of beating themselves up and they let them voices beat them. But God ain't gonna let you get beat down. He loving you. He loving on you. He structuring you for the greatest version of yourself. All of that extra stuff, he kicking that out. You don't work. He working all that out. You know. So being able to sit with the greatest creator, and then that's when you learn the greatest gratitude. Like, is it easy? No, but okay. Let's talk about being easy. Let's talk about easy. Jesus went to hell. I'm guaranteeing that wasn't easy. You know what I mean? He had spent 3 days. I mean, not after what they did to him up on earth, then hung the man up. He didn't have to go down in hell. So, you know, when if you really think about that paradigm, you think about that. Mine easy, you know, but nobody really thinks about it like that. I don't think. Do they ever? They think about the cross, but he didn't. It wasn't just the cross. He did have to go down in the Hades, fight that battle, then finally get out. I mean, not including all the things and the tricks and the things he had to endure. So if he could do that, God asked me to be this what he required me. Simple. I got you. But he teaches me this. I didn't just one day wake up and say, oh, I know. No. But that's the thing about getting the greatest relationship. You get a relationship. I'm not saying, oh, I'm gonna say so. I'm gonna say something that's so great, and that's the light inside of you that's gonna give yourself totally to Christ the way you need to get it, and you're gonna get something. It ain't about how many people, because I know in my job, but I ain't gotta keep count. Man, the job we need to do together gonna take the greatest victory. So, you know, sometimes I don't get caught up in the schematics of life, because that's what God, you know, he'll hit certain triggers and certain things that I know, and then he'd be like, look, back up from that. We're going to back up from that right now. We want one thing, and that's you to form your energy, to raise it higher, the vibration raise higher. He practiced with me to raise my vibrations today. And the more I keep doing this, the higher my vibration going to get. The higher my vibration gonna get. I've been learning more and more each day. I grow every single day, and it's fascinating. It's exhilarating. Okay, that to be my age and able to have a mindset like I've never had before, to be able to see things I could never ever see before, to be able to be of value to people like I ain't never been able to be of value of people. It's all I get to see God in my life every day. I get to understand the protection he put around me every day. I get to understand how much he loved me every single day. So he loves you. And that's why I'm on here. That's why, for the first time in my life, I know that mental illness can be, it is curable. They saying that I know there is a cure for mental illness, and you don't need no medicine. Don't. And it's gonna take the lights to line up and really start to break this paradigm shift. This thing that one person can't do it alone. Can't. Not possible. But the village can. The tribe can. And it's coming. The tribe is coming. The most enlightened people are people who are broken. The ones who don't think they can. The ones who done gave up. The ones that done stopped dreaming. Those are the ones that I'm shooting for. Those are the ones that hopefully they done start to get a YouTube addiction. Hopefully they gonna turn on YouTube and be like, what is this guy? Boom! And I got you. I got you. Man, I feel that. How you do that? But the spirit in me gonna touch you. Dude is not lying. Dude has been through that. See, every adversity that I've been through was for a purpose. Because my spirit don't lie. My spirit is gonna come through and touch and God is everywhere. All seeing, all knowing, all energy forces. Every atom, every neutron, every fiber, he around it. My voice carries weight. It carries activation. Because he uses me, he uses people, he uses vessels. And he loves the ones that will allow him to come through and speed through it. He loves his vessels that let him come through and hit you right there. Because he loving. All powerful, all knowing. You know, the beauty about God is he is forgiving. Jesus is our greatest example, man. He came here with straight love. Straight love. No iniquities. No, he didn't run around. You need to pay me. How many shillings you got? He didn't say none of that. Got you. His energy was so powerful. The woman got healed by the hem of his robe. Just the hem of it. Boom. And he could feel it. He could feel the energy leaving. Hold up. That's how much energy he was walking with. It was stemming off his clothes. It was stemming off his cloth. You heard me? Everything was a lesson for us. He was a walking ball of energy. You have that. The light is that. Let your light shine. Take this challenge. Take the plunge in 2025. Become the best version of yourself. And you got it good because it's already aligned for you. Everybody ain't got to do what I done done. Everybody ain't gonna have to go through this cave and darkness. Everybody didn't have to be a Moses. Everybody didn't have to be a David. Everybody didn't have to be Elijah, Ezekiel. Everybody got their path. Everybody didn't have to be an Abraham. What I'm saying. But we all got to take that spiritual aptitude and pass that test. And that's that test that just give your heart to God. And he want it all. He don't want you to come with he don't want you to come to tricks. And he gonna test you. He gonna test you. Because he already know you. Oh, you love me? Okay. Okay. You say you love me? Okay. I'm gonna put, and it's gonna come out of nowhere. It's gonna come out of nowhere. Whoa. Because we got free will. I'm gonna end this. I want you to know I love you. God definitely loves you. Let's step up in 2025. I'm gonna be tuning in every day. I'm dropping every day. God is gonna bring the heat every day through me. I'm just a vessel. He powers this vessel up every day. Let him power your vessel up every day. All right.